Hey guys, Mike the Cop. Heard a hilarious joke this week. Here it goes. Two guys decide to put on ski masks, carry guns, and camera equipment into a police department. Wait, that wasn't a joke? That actually happened? Somebody did that?
Dude, put that on the ground! Put it on the ground! Put it on the ground! I'm not trying to put it on the ground now! Put it on the ground or you are dead! Listen, I will shoot you! I will put a round in you, sir!
I got you. Yeah, I will defend my brothers, I will defend the weak. I will pursue and fight evil so others may sleep. I am the sheepdog, protecting the night. Wolf hunters unite, bring it on. It's time to fight.
So a few weeks ago, I did a video on how to react to the police when you're carrying a concealed weapon. And it was the most popular video I'd done on YouTube and on my website, at least up to this moment right now. And one of the big questions that came out of that and side conversations was, okay, thanks for the information on a cop's perspective and advice on carrying concealed when I'm engaging the police. But what about open carry? What if I sometimes open carry? Or what if I prefer to do that? Or what if that's my only option? Maybe you're 19 and you can't get a gun in your state to carry concealed, but you could open carry. So what about us? And I thought those are really good questions to think about. And obviously, based on the interaction on that video, talking about guns, gun rights, and other related topics is something that I have an interest in, and clearly people who are watching have an interest in. So why not do another video? And so while I was thinking about how I would approach the topic, a group called Michigan Open Carry actually emailed me and said, hey, we would love for you to help us come together, make a video, and show that not all open carry people are morons, like those two guys in Dearborn, Michigan, who walk into the police department with long gun and ski mask and all that nonsense. I thought, man, what a great opportunity. And they bring up a great point, which is that just like most cops are good cops, and there's a lot of perceptions out there about cops being X, Y, or Z, there's also a lot of false perceptions about people who would be open carry advocates. We came together, talked for a little bit, and decided to make a video on this topic. How should you react to a police officer when you're open carrying? And likewise, how should you as a police officer react to someone who is legally and sensibly open carrying their handgun? First thing we did was sort of talk about the stereotypes of this. We said that in my mind there was sort of like two major stereotypes around open carry guys. And that first one is the attention whore, who just absolutely has to let everyone know that they have a gun and that you should see it.
Hey, how you doing today? Did you notice I'm open carrying? Yeah, it's not even concealed. It's the only way you can do it sometimes. Just out in the open, in public. How are your kids today?
But even more popular, in my experience as a police officer, is what I would call the YouTube wannabe celebrity. These guys don all of their gear, their tactical stuff, and their guns that they can legally carry out in the open, as they do, but they go out for the express purpose of creating a circumstance where they can put you, put me, put somebody else on camera and sort of like play the victim and trump things up for the camera.
Oh, look what we got here. A cop in the park. Coincidence? I don't think so. Sir, do you even know the rights to open carry, the Second Amendment? Okay, 1103, 32, 11D, 6013, code. You don't know anything about that, do you? No, I didn't think so. What, you got a pocket constitution? Why don't you tell me what you're even doing here? Yeah, I got an ID in my pocket, but it's not coming out today. I don't think so, bud.
Maybe there's other types, and feel free to drop your ideas in the comments about your experiences with the open carry folks who aren't very sensible. There's also problems with some of the cops. There's what I would call the overreactor, the one that goes from like 0 to 100 just because they see a gun on someone.
Hey, you with the gun! Get on the ground! Everybody get on the ground! Do it now! I need backup! This guy's got a gun on his hip!
And then there's the cops that are, quite frankly, they just aren't very educated, and so they sort of like get caught in this cycle of repeating themselves, and they want to see ID from the person who's carrying a gun that they got called to, but they don't exactly know why, so they sort of just keep spinning in circles.
Yeah, so, you know, for my safety, I'm gonna need to see your ID. So, I mean, I need your ID. They sent me out here so I could get your ID. I mean, you have identification, right? So I just need to see that and then see your ID.
Now, quite honestly, the funny thing about stereotypes is, well, they're true. I mean, that's sort of what makes them funny. Like, do I like donuts? Yes. Do I drink coffee? Yes. Do I like to run? No. Maybe if there was a zombie apocalypse. No, that's about it. The only reason I should run. But while those stereotypical open carry advocates and police officers exist, it doesn't need to be that way. It's actually relatively simple. If you're going to open carry and you're going to, for any reason, encounter the police, it's actually a pretty simple process. So let's break it down. First of all, just like when you're carrying concealed, just relax. It's not a big deal.
Open carrier, 11 o'clock. Be cool.
There's a cop. Be cool. Don't draw any attention to yourself. Guess the gun doesn't help.
Far too many people have a perception of the police that they're unapproachable. And that doesn't mean that there's not cops who are unapproachable, but for the most part, they are. Those that carry open, especially those that are part of like the Michigan Open Carry Group, they're sensible people. They're not only doing it legally, they're doing it sensibly. So just relax. It's not a big deal. Another thing you should do, just to be aware of, is your body language. Just don't make any sudden movements and pay attention to where you're putting your hands.
I'm gonna need to see some ID, okay? Just easy. Easy.
Yeah, I'm open carrying, so it's legal. It's legal. I'm good. I'm good, right?
I mean, I suppose a criminal could try to pull off the fact that while he's robbing a store, if a cop came in, he would just go, "No, I'm just open carrying, sir. What's the problem? I can do this. I can do this." You see, 99.999% of open carry advocates are doing so legally, and they're law-abiding citizens who aren't wanting to do any officer harm, any other law-abiding citizen harm. And we got to recognize that, and we have to act accordingly as police officers when we're approaching them. Likewise, if you're an open carry advocate, you don't need to be nervous. You don't have to make sudden movements because of that, because 99.999% of cops, they also aren't out to get anybody. So everybody's really on the same team here. The interaction should be quick and simple. It really is as easy as this.
How's it going, officer?
Well, pretty good. How are you? Came out to the park today because someone called and said there was a guy in the park carrying a gun at his hip. So we're just checking on you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just out in the park. My wife walking the dog. Big open carry advocate. It's legal, obviously, you know, in the state of Michigan. So just enjoying the day.
All right, cool. Really appreciate that. No problems on my end. Have a great day.
Now I can already see in the comments, well, when I got stopped by the police, it wasn't like that. It should be like that, but it's not like that. Well, listen, I don't know what your circumstance was. One thing that the Michigan Open Carry Group wanted me to emphasize to you guys is that it really is a totality of the circumstances. Example, let's say that there's an apartment complex adjacent to a park, like the one we filmed in, and somebody looks out and sees a man standing there in the park with a gun on his hip. They may be concerned. They call the police. Contrary to popular opinion, the police don't call themselves to places. So when they show up, obviously a citizen has expressed concern. Our job is to investigate that concern. We show up. If there's no other probable cause, no other reasonable suspicion that crime is occurring, then really there is no reason for that interaction to go on very long unless it's completely consensual and both parties want to talk about guns or something. Maybe you guys will get along and come up with a secret handshake. But let's say that you had been seen in the park and you're open carrying and you were also walking around to kids that were by themselves and having conversations in the park. Well, now something else changed in the totality of the circumstances. You may be required to identify yourself because, you know, you should want, I should want, we should all want that predators of children should be identified in our community and make sure that they're not engaging in activity that they shouldn't. Just an example. So you have to understand, you don't have to identify yourself if you're just open carrying, but if there's any other series of an unlimited amount of circumstances, the totality of that may require you to provide ID. You want to do open carry? Awesome. Do it legally, do it sensibly. And for the cops out there that are going to encounter people who are open carrying, we need to understand the law and we need to apply common sense in how we engage them. It's honestly quite that simple. And I learned a few things talking with John from Michigan open carry. Some of the reasons that someone would want to open carry versus concealed carry. I mean, yeah, because you can, that's great. But there are legitimate reasons. I mentioned one earlier, that maybe you aren't old enough yet to get a concealed pistol license, and so you're going to open carry because that's a legal way to carry a pistol. Maybe you want to be able to react faster in a situation where you may be called upon to defend yourself or others. Maybe concealed carry isn't the preferred option for you. Maybe the way that you can train or the way that you feel most comfortable is open carry. Another great reason. Maybe you want to be a deterrent to crime. I mean, that would deter some crime. If you see 3 or 4 people with guns at the store you're going into and you originally had intentions to rob it, you might think twice. So just keep in mind that law-abiding citizens that are open carry advocates are the norm. They're not the exception like the other morons that we've highlighted before on my channel. Well-informed and common sense approaches from police officers is also the norm, even though there's cops that overreact or don't know the law. Hopefully this brief video is a little dose of common sense and information for you that you can use and apply. But extremes are certainly not the norm.